Welcome back to Molding the World. It's early July 2026, and the United Kingdom is currently operating under a completely unique political system. We don't actually have a functioning Prime Minister, but the guy who is about to take the job is already redesigning the stationery. We begin with the Prime Minister-in-waiting Andy Burnham, who took to the stage to deliver his grand manifesto. Plan to save the country is to strip our fiscal power directly out of London and hand it over to the local region. It's essentially a devolution or destitution ultimatum, complete with the secondary 10 North executive office based right in the heart of Manchester. Now, giving local councils absolute financial autonomy to set taxes and spend budgets sounds lovely on paper until you remember the sheer, unadulterated financial incompetence of British local government. A massive High Court lawsuit revealed that Thurrock Council completely bankrupted itself after pouring over £600 million of public money into solar energy farms. It turns out the tycoon running the operation allegedly pocketed a cool £150 million of that council cash to buy himself a private jet and a £13.7 million luxury yacht. Think about that for a second. While the local residents are dealing with potholed roads and cancelled bin collections, their borough council accidentally diversified its portfolio into luxury maritime assets. If Andy Burnham thinks giving these bankrupt local authorities the keys to the treasury is a good idea, our next national flagship won't be a naval destroyer. It'll be a Superyacht owned by the Essex Department of Highways. But don't worry, because the state has found a brilliant new way to deal with the inevitable poverty this causes. On Monday, June 29th, the government officially repealed the infamous Vagrancy Act of 1824. For over 200 years, it was a criminal offense in England and Wales to sleep rough or beg in public. But now, it's finally officially decriminalized. This is being hailed as a magnificent victory for human dignity. But let's look at the cold, hard reality of British statecraft. The government hasn't actually fixed the housing crisis, nor have they built any affordable accommodation or resolved the cost of living. No, they've simply looked at the thousands of people forced to sleep on the freezing pavements and said, "Good news, everyone! You're still completely broke and homeless. But at least we won't fine you a grand for it anymore." It is the ultimate administrative shrug, legalizing the symptoms of their own failure so they don't have to fill out the arrest paperwork. And if you think the government's ability to keep track of people on the streets is bad, wait until you look how they've managed the borders. An exclusive Home Office whistleblower just dropped a bombshell dataset in Parliament, revealing that the state has completely lost track of around 53,200 illegal migrants. These are the individuals who've breached their immigration bail, walked straight out of the detention, or vanished entirely from asylum hotels. Their current whereabouts? Absolutely nobody has a clue. They have completely absconded into the underground economy. To make matters infinitely more terrifying, the missing pool includes over 700 foreign national criminals who have vanished right before they were supposed to be deported. The Home Office's official response to these numbers was to refuse to confirm that, claim they didn't comment on speculation. It's not speculation when it's your own internal spreadsheet. At this point, the Home Office isn't running a border security apparatus. They're playing the world's most incompetent high-stakes game of hide-and-seek. But let's close out on some actual undisputed good news. A massive while dance the England squad out in America for their dramatic 2-1 victory over the Democratic Congo, sending them straight into the next round. At least someone in this country knows how to defend a boundary and deliver a result. Good night. Keep your regional taxis local, and if you see 53,000 people walking past your luxury council Superyacht, try not to call the police. They're too busy filling out Andy Burnham's new Manchester paperwork.
The paperwork is shifting. The power's on the move. Andy's in the office, trying to get into the groove. Devolution or destitution? Take your bloody pick. The new administrative layout is looking rather slick. But the local politicians have a history of class when it comes to blowing budgets right out of their ass. And they're playing hide and seek with 50,000 names, while Thurrock Council's funding luxury maritime games. We're molding a new world with an administrative shrug and sweeping all the details underneath the office rug. The Home Office internal sheets are looking rather thin. They lost 53,000 since the wintertime set in. We don't comment on speculation, says the official face, while 700 deportees have vanished from the place. They walked right out the hotel, they walked right off the bail, while the police are checking TikTok to find their trail.
But don't you worry, mate, the football's looking great. Out in the USA, we're deciding our own fate.
DR Congo took a beating.
The tournament is live, the only British structure that is managing to thrive.
I think they're all asleep. And they're playing hide and seek with 50,000 names, while Thurrock Council's funding luxury maritime games. We're molding a new world with an administrative shrug and sweeping all the details underneath the office rug. Sign the forms. Launch the yacht. The vagrancy is legal, but the houses are all not. Unite to the kingdom and keep your head down. For this Burnham fella seems a bit of a clown.